Hi, I'm Alice from Headspace, Geraldton, and here today to talk about resilience, or as one of the top researchers in the field calls it, ordinary magic. I'd just like to acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, the Southern Yamatji people, the traditional custodians on the land on which we meet, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. So what is resilience? Basically, resilience is experiencing risk and demonstrating positive function. Why are we talking about it? I guess everyone in the world has been experiencing some kind of risk or feeling kind of a challenge with what has been going on for the past 2 years, which is, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, concerns about money, about isolation, about getting the virus, about, you know, not knowing what's going to happen, the fear of the unknown. So today I'm just really talking about things that everyone can do to kind of have that resilience, to maintain it and to get through when it feels like these times are a bit unusual, strange and maybe even a bit tough. What are some things that you think that might help? One Powerball, we often say, will kind of be the magic wand, the thing that saves us. Well, as I'm going to talk about, probably not. Staying safe, keeping away from people, keeping in your homes, again, probably not the perfect solution. Making sure that you're juggling all the balls all the time is not resilience, and it's not how you're going to get through this either. And is it just about, you know, going and getting therapy about resilience, or making sure you're looking up all the resilient kind of guidelines? It's not really that either. It's about bouncing back and about managing even when things aren't going well. Doesn't mean that you need to be thriving all the time. It just means that you need to be kind of staying the course. And as I said at the start, ordinary magic is really what resilience is. Humans have an amazing ability to adapt, and that's what we have done, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And some of the things that might help you adapt are keeping a sense of who you are, of what you do have control over, really good social connections, and some kind of nice routines in your life. So I'll talk about these next, which are the 7 healthy Headspace tips. Here we go. So these are some things that might be able to help you if you're finding that things are a bit tough, but you need to keep going. So getting really good sleep is something that, as we know, is really effective for all mental health and functioning. Getting a really nice sleep routine, turning screens off earlier, and, you know, finding times to wind down and relax and restore your energy. And how you going? Learning skills for tough times. This may be considered one of these tough times, like dealing with COVID, knowing what's going to come. Things like finding ways to have a digital detox, or meditating, breathing, different coping skills that might be helpful or effective for you. If you're kind of finding that you don't know how to do that, or it kind of feels out of your control, that is when it might be time to talk to those around you who you feel might have better skills than you or different skills to you, or even being able to talk to someone like the people at Headspace, counsellors or psychologists, social workers, etc. Excuse me. Getting a taste for the good stuff, so filling up your body with really nutritious foods. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, so I won't tell you what to put on your plate, but more about making sure that what you're putting in your body is stuff that you know is good fuel to keep you going, to keep you feeling healthy and well. Make your play, stay active. Moving your body is really important for a sense of feeling well, for having clarity of thought, for being able to make good decisions, and that's a big part of resilience as well, knowing kind of where you're at and what's going on. So finding ways that you can move your body that work for you doesn't mean going out and running a marathon or committing to something really extreme. It could just be going for a walk around the block with your dog, or getting in the ocean that we're so lucky to have at our doorstep here in Geraldton. Swap snaps for chats. What this really means is having meaningful connections with other people. One of the main protective factors against risk, so one of the main factors that promotes resilience, is actually having a really good social network. So when I said it's not all up to the individual, having resilience is about being able to share the load of when things come up, which are really, really hard. So being able to chat with your friends. I know that at times, particularly with what's going on, it might be hard to meet in person, but finding ways where rather than the exchanges being kind of meaningless, maybe giving someone that you really trust a call or a FaceTime to be able to really talk about how you're going and how they're going and what's going on. Feeding your mind. This is about doing things that make you feel interested, that make you feel like you've got a sense of purpose or meaning, or that you can do something really well. This again is something that's really found to be important in the resilience research, because you kind of get a sense of like, yeah, I can do this. And that's really what resilience is. It's about getting through and being like, yeah, I can do this, even if it's hard. So finding stuff that maybe you used to love and have kind of dropped off, or maybe trying something new, reading, art, anything that appeals to you. Lose your fog, lay off gear and grog. So basically, reducing drugs and alcohol at times that are particularly stressful is always a really good thing to keep in mind. As much as drugs and alcohol might seem like a handy or, pretty attractive option for chilling out and taking a load off, it actually ultimately has the opposite effect of impacting our health and well-being in a way that may not be helpful. So finding ways to cut down if you're having a lot or reduce is always a really good thing. Another way to kind of feel like you might get different resources, different information, or different ways to cope if you're kind of struggling to figure out what that might be for you, is to head to really good resources that are backed by research and have kind of good stuff that you can do. One of those places that you can go is the headspace.org.au website. On the website, there's plenty of information around getting through COVID-19, like what to do if you've had to isolate, how to reconnect with people once you've been in isolation, how family and friends can help their young people, for example, but also just general information from the mental health, general health, drug and alcohol spectrum. So head there to have a look, and there's particularly great stuff in terms of individual profiles that you can kind of make for yourself to build up your own in-your-pocket resource for coping and wellness. If you felt like you needed to talk to someone, your young person to talk to someone, Headspace Geraldton is another place that you might feel would work for you to come in and have a chat with people about how you're going if it feels like it has got on top of you and you can't use those general coping skills to get through anymore. We're the graffiti building on Marine Terrace, 193 Marine Terrace, and we work with 12 to 25-year-olds for a range of different things that are going on: family stuff, relationship stuff, mental health stuff, drug and alcohol, and even work and study support if that's what you're after. Thanks so much. I'm Alice from Headspace. Take care. Bye.